What's going on, Washington Football Nation? It's your boy Rio, and we're back for another episode. And I got some friends with me today. I got two of the Washington football team heavyweights to this YouTube game on the channel. I got my guy Ed and my guy Rico from Scree Scores. What's going on, fellas?
Yes, sir. What's
What's up,
good?
man? What's good? What's going on, y'all?
You know what's not good? The Washington football team. You know what I'm saying? Like the vibes are good. You know, we managed to still get this content out, but it's a struggle right now in these streets. Luckily for Ed, he got the Wizards to talk about on the Locked On Wizards podcast, which is fantastic, by the way. Ed,
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Rico,
thank
Ed,
goodness.
I'm gonna start with Ed. What is one word to describe our season so far at the bye week midway point of the season?
That's a good question. I would say either disappointing or a dud, um, a bust. Yeah, it's been a bust of a season. I'll say a
Pretty
bust.
much.
Yeah.
Pretty much, man. How about you, Rico? What you think?
I probably the way I describe it is deflating because
Yes.
it's just this roller coaster ride of you were getting better and then back down and some hope and then right back down.
Hell yeah. Like for me, I don't know. This isn't one word, but I guess I put it together and hyphenated on brand because we went into the season with expectations, but the season has somehow reverted back to the typical Washington Redskins football team season where it's just typical, like my guy Eric said in the chat. And speaking of the chat, let's see what's going on in the chat. I see my guy John Parton in the chat. He said, yo, Joey Sly's available. Yes, he did get cut today. Joey Sly, a kicker that's actually kicked field goals in a real game, is available. Captain Obvious said Glenn Youngkin is winning. Oh, we're not doing politics over here. Shout out to you for pulling up in the chat. We're not doing Glenn Youngkin over here. I definitely didn't vote for him, by the way. Yante Etheridge, what's good? Rockman, what's good? Washington diehard fan said failure. My guy Eric Huffman said typical. And shout out to my guy One Life Music. He said the legends all in one room. Hey man, we just all pushing out content. We're pushing out the type of therapy that we need as a fan base right now because this team is just not getting it done. And today was the trade deadline at 4 p.m. Washington was not a buyer or seller like most of the league, but it would have been nice to see that we were actually trying to do something instead of standing pat with what we have on the roster. We had a fake or real Mitchell Trubisky rumor going around. How did that rumor make y'all feel? And was there any moves that y'all thought we should have made at the deadline? I'm going to start with Rico.
So the Trubisky thing scared me a little bit. There's a bright side to it though, because at least they're taking franchise quarterback seriously. But at the same time, Mitchell Trubisky isn't the guy I want. So it's give or take. I'm glad we tried, but we didn't get him. I think that's probably a good case, the best case scenario for that situation. And then as far as being buyers or sellers, I mean, it would be nice to accumulate some more draft picks so we can attack this draft very aggressively. I mean, I prefer to trade up for quarterback, but even if we don't do that, I mean, Landon Collins is probably going to end up out of here. Brandon Sheriff may end up leaving without us getting any value back for him other than like a compensatory pick. So it would be nice to accumulate some draft capital to try to replace those guys and look for, some mid-round, later round picks that can possibly step up and do what they've done for this franchise.
How about you, Ed? Anything you thought
Yeah,
we should have done?
no, I'm happy we didn't get Trubisky. That would have been another journeyman quarterback, backup quarterback. Seriously, I'm so happy we didn't do that. It was a rumor too. I don't think it was true. Some Bills reporters said it was true, but Ben Stanley said it wasn't true. Yeah,
Chris Chaprasso was the only person who had that information. So I don't know about all that.
yeah. And then as far as like trading Landon Collins, like what are you gonna get for him? A 7th-round pick, 6th-round pick?
Chips.
Yeah, same thing with some chips, ham sandwich. Tim Settle. Tim Settle was probably the most tradable player on the team. You're not gonna get much from him. Like a bunch of 6th-round picks. If that, Von Miller got traded for like 2 late round picks, and then Melvin Ingram got traded for a 6th-round pick, right? So that's the measuring stick right there. We're just not going to get anything for those guys. So, and Ron's not going to pull the trigger on trades. He's not going to bring anybody in. So we knew it was going to be a dud of a day for the trade deadline.
Oh yeah, the NFL trade deadline is always mid, man. The NBA trade deadline, even when the moves aren't made, all the rumors and fireworks going around, it's right around All-Star break, and like everybody's meeting up, and you're hearing this guy's going there, this guy's recruiting him there. Like it's always lit. The NFL trade deadline, it's very dry every year. My guy, Captain Obvious, you're good, bro. It's all good. My guy Roger said, attention to detail. Oh, what's good with you, by the way? Attention to detail is lacking. Bad scheming, bad coaching, total regression. The players are not the problem. A lot of square pegs and round hole. I agree with some of that, and I disagree with some of that because players are definitely part of the problem. There's a lot of bad execution taking place, and there's a bit of what's happening while we're losing games that is caused by – like, I see opportunities for plays to be made, and they're not being made. But Roger's always coming with it, man. And Roger holds the coaching staff as accountable as anybody I know. My guy, 3-time Super Bowl champ, said, what's up? What's good with you, man? Virginia Slim in the house. What's popping? Camingo, my guy who also brings that Wizards fire. Little surprised Washington to make a move at the trade deadline. I thought we'd at least sell some guys because, I mean, there's some value. We need to stock up with some ammo so we can at least shoot our shot at some of these quarterbacks. Like, at the end of the season, I'd like us to at least shoot our shot at Carr, Rodgers, Wilson, even Deshaun Watson, because I hope that his situation is resolved by then. I think it's like 100% done deal. He's going to probably be going to Philly at the end of the season because they're right now sitting with the 2nd, 8th, and 9th pick of the draft at this point of the season. They're going to win a couple more games, so it's probably not going to be like that, but they're still going to have a haul to offer anybody who's looking for a quarterback. But, shout out my guy Loser in the chat. Past Redskins running backs better than Antonio. Sorry, Gibson. AP. We're not even going to talk about Darius Geis. Darius Geis is a no-no in all conversations. Bibbs, Rob Kelly, Morris, Lou Thompson. Hey, Gibson, we do need to have an Antonio Gibson conversation, man. Is he good?
Is Gibson good? Gibson's good. He just can't stay healthy, and now he's got a fumble problem. I don't think he's I don't think he's an every down back. And the Christian McCaffrey comparisons, you got to throw those out the window. And I think he has potential, but his vision, he has to work on that ball security, obviously now. And he has a stress fracture too, so he's not all the way healthy. I'll give him that. But he's better than Rob Kelly. I wouldn't go that far and disrespect him like that. He's better than Fat Rob. I did like Fat Rob had a couple good games, but he's better than Fat Rob.
I know. I got a little disrespectful after his last fumble. I was like, he just Matt Jones without dreads and a
right, yeah.
Like, that's what had me feeling the way. What you feel about Gibson, Rico?
Man, I agree with Ed. Like, I think the injuries are really hurting them right now. I think it's making them second guess a lot of things. And even to your point with Christian McCaffrey, like, first of all, he's not a Christian McCaffrey. And do we even want a Christian McCaffrey? Because as athletic as he is, he doesn't – when you give a player the ball that much, regardless of how they're built, they're just not going to last long. Christian McCaffrey may have played like 3 games this season. And then even Derrick Henry's hurt. It just seems like running backs just aren't built to last anymore.
Yeah, man. Running backs, man, that's a position. That's why I don't agree with ever paying a running back because that position, they're just like high-end tires that you just run the tread off of in a couple years, and then you throw them away and draft a new one when their contract is up. That's what you do with running backs. What's good? Just Washington football. He said all my faves in one room. Was good. One Life Music said, I swear I would have OD'd on bath salt if we traded for Mitchell Trubisky. hey. You keep it handy because I really feel like if we strike out, which we probably will in the offseason, that's probably going to be our top acquisition.
Lord.
It's going to be Mitch or Jimmy G.
It is.
And my biggest thing with that is not only are they not like good enough, but that's going to set us back a couple of more years from getting the next guy. It's not like we'll pick up Trubisky and still, attack, Malik Willis or Matt Corral, any of those guys. We'll be like, oh, we got Trubisky. We'll give him 2 years and see what happens type of thing.
If that's the case, then we're going to be waiting for either Caleb Williams or Arch Manning because this
at that point.
We're going to be kicking the tires on my man Mitch. What's going on, Teron? What's popping? Not the baths. I know, he's wilding, man. Leave the LSD alone, man. I promise you. He said they taking applications on Indeed for quarterback.
For real, yeah.
Then they checking LinkedIn profiles. They taking LinkedIn profiles for kicker too, because your boy Blewett is not getting it done right now from the past decade or so. Let's see what else is popping. Let me see.
I've never seen nothing like it with Blewett too.
Oh yeah.
Two kicks in the back of an offensive lineman in one game. Like, what is going on with that?
Yeah, I've never seen that, and I seen dude kick the ball off of the snapper's helmet or the left guard's helmet. I'm not sure I've ever seen that before. It looks like he's kicking the ball with it flat off the ground, and I'm not sure. Hey, shout out to my guy Christian. He said 3 goes together. Shout out to you for the $2. It's my guy, man. On Twitter, he always holds it down. Thank you, John, for telling me I need to turn my gain up a little bit. Hopefully it sounds good now. We need to tank. Listen, 3-time Super Bowl champ. We're not good enough to tank.
Tanking. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're just not good. Winning is not going to happen. We don't need the tank. There's no need for it. We're not good enough to win games as we currently stand. Malik Willis, yeah, I like Malik Willis. Will we go after a quarterback? We have no choice but to go after a quarterback. If we don't, I'm not sure what the plan is here anymore. And we're going to get to the plan in just a second. No way should Fitzpatrick be the quarterback next year. Hell no. I don't even think we'll see him this year. Hey, my homies in the house. Ashley Renee, what's good with it? What's good with you, gang? How you doing tonight? Let's see what else we got going on in here. Is the former running back guru still living? If so, why not bring him in on a consultant thing? Running back guru. Who are we talking about right now? Who?
You're talking about Clinton Portis?
I don't know.
Clinton Portis is a free man right now. So
a free man. Clinton Portis. I hope Clinton Portis is okay. Right? I hope Clinton Portis living check to check right now.
yeah.
Shout out to CP though. That's a good dude, man. But he going through some things right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Bobby Turner. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I know what he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
I was like, where are we going with this? I wouldn't be surprised if Blewett. Oh yeah, I mean Ron said they're not bringing in any competition for the kicker.
Terrible. That's
so
terrible.
What that tells me is Ron must know we're going 2-15. Like he must see the vision. He must have the vision at this point, and he's like, all right, bro, I'm gonna just let this play out because he defended Heineke and the kicker today and was like, we're gonna let them play it out, which tells me he's like, look, this is who we are. We are who we are right now. And we're not going to do something drastic to try to change it.
He said 3 to 5 years.
Yep, 3 to 5.
He said 3 to 5 years.
And that brings me to my next point. What's good, Anthony? That brings me to my next point. Ron's comments. He made a few interesting-ass comments in this presser he did yesterday. And fans are going crazy, and they are lighting his ass up on Twitter, Facebook groups. Like, they're coming out with the pitchforks, the whole nine. One, he went back to his, like the military, you need 3 to 5 years to change a culture because utility is not found overnight. He said that. He also said that they have not really evaluated the team through the first half of the season so far. And he said something else crazy, but are y'all still with Ron's plan or are y'all jumping off the ship already? Because I'm still rolling, but it's not good right now. And he said the fans. He pretty much said the fans can do whatever the hell they want to. They could be on the ship or be off the ship. They pretty much said that. Y'all still with Ron's plan or nah?
Nah, I'm not really with it. Honestly, I'm not 100% on the fire Ron train, but if they want to go with a young offensive-minded head coach in the offseason, I wouldn't be mad at that at all. Start fresh with a new quarterback and a new offensive, young-minded head coach. Because Ron is stubborn, man. This man is super stubborn. You can hear in his interviews where he's like, guys, when he gets mad or whatever. This man will not – picking up Chris Blewett off of Home Depot. This man was working at Home Depot. No knock on Home Depot, but seriously, like, you cut Dustin Hopkins, there was other kickers out there. Like, he could have got better kickers than that. He's defending what's his name? Chris Blewett. Coaching adjustments have been terrible. 4th down decision making has been terrible. He doesn't know when to kick a field goal and take the points. He doesn't know when to be aggressive and go for it on 4th down. He's a defensive-minded head coach. Our defense is the worst defense in the league. I don't know what's going on with him and Chase. I don't know if something's going on off the field there. Just some disconnect with him and Chase. Right now, I don't know what's going on. But Ron has been bad, man. He's been bad this year. And, he was crying because, he said, oh, we won. I wish we didn't win the division last year. Where I was getting what he's saying, but he sounds like he's crying for
can't
help
say that.
right now.
You can't say that.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
sounds
he
like he's
can.
crying for
Leave
help
that
right
to
now.
us to say. Leave
Basically.
that to us who create content. Leave it to the fans to say. You can't say that, Rico. How you feeling about Ron's plan, bro?
Even to add to Ed Oliver's point, I think the Chris Blewett signing was kind of like an ego thing. I think I'm smarter than everybody else. Watch me take this guy out of nowhere, working for UPS and turn him into an NFL quality kicker. I think that was like kind of one of those moves, and it's backfiring. So now he's just like, well, we suck anyway. I mean, how much worse can it get type of thing. So he kind of has a backup plan for that. But for me, I'm definitely not off of it. I'm not full blown on it because, I mean, I've been preaching take quarterback for the longest. So until that happens, I'm not on board with anything we got going on as far as like the future. But I do want to see some continuity. That's my only thing. If we make any changes too soon, I think we're going to end up right in the same boat unless we end up with somebody really good. But at the same time, with all the dysfunction, even just off the field, like ignoring all of the bad on the field, what quality coaches would want to come here? Like, let me fix that, So I feel like Ron is like the best we have for a little while. And I hate to have that mentality, like, afraid of seeing what's green, what's on the other side. But I think Ron is like, for now, I'll say give him like another 2 years. And if we're still struggling like this, especially, yeah, it's definitely time to move on.
Yeah, man. My man Roger said that is pathetic. Yeah, man. Right now, what it sounds to me, it sounds like Ron is defeated. And it looks like this situation, the media, we're not in Charlotte, North Carolina no more, where we could paint sunshine and rainbows after each disappointing season, because there's still a franchise getting their feet wet. They came to existence in the 90s. This is a historical franchise who has seen glory before, and they're expecting every coach to come in here with a plan to get us back to glory. And if your plan does not consist of getting a franchise quarterback in 2021, is there a plan at all? Because we went into this offseason and settled for a 100-year-old quarterback and a noodle-arm journeyman who had started 2 games before. And that it just goes to show, like, is there a plan at all right now? Let's see what else is going on in the chat. It seems like Ron just knows we're going to go in the game and lose instead of playing to win. I know. It does. It does seem that way. It seems like they know that we're trash right now. Ron's plan is garbage. He said it from the jump. Man said a measuring stick. Forget that stick. We could play any given Sunday. Man, it's depressing. Right
but he
now.
came in backwards. He said he wanted to build a team first, then get the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He learned the hard way. That's not how you build a team right now.
My man, what's going on, Tyler? He said, did Chase ever get coached by Bruce Smith? Hell no. And if he did, he should get his money back. Because Chase, I like Chase Young. I love you, my guy. But, I don't know what is going on with your game right now, man. You're still struggling with one-on-one protections. And we're 8 games into the season. You have 1.5 sacks, sir. I know sophomore slumps exist, so I'm not going to sit here. And some people are writing him off as a bust. I'm not going to do all that. But right now, nothing looks generational about Chase Young. We got another kicker. Guys, Ron says guys all the time. It's like he's always trying to, you know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out my sister-in-law.
Position flex.
With the super sticker, the 199 super sticker. Position flex. Position versatility. That's all we're about here, man. That's all we're about here right now. And, man, is it time to go to Kyle Allen, or does it even matter, guys?
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, just if you want to tank, I mean, either one, you're gonna lose out. But Kyle Allen, I'm not really pressed to see Kyle Allen, to be honest with you. Taylor Heineke, it is what it is. You're gonna lose with either one. We're gonna be 5-12 at best with either one. If Heineke has a stinker against the Bucks and it has like 5 picks, then yeah, sure, go ahead with Kyle Allen, so we can just see something different and get a different look, maybe a stronger arm, and we can go with some different plays, but. I still like Heineke. I don't see the thing is, I don't expect Heineke to go out there and throw 4 touchdowns. I know what Heineke is. We know his limitations. As long as he runs and uses his legs and plays smart and actually dives over the goal line and doesn't slide before the freaking touchdown, then I'm fine with Heineke. Like, we already know what our plan is. Everybody's plan is to draft a quarterback. So playing Heineke gets us a better pick. It is what it is. Keep him in there. That's how I feel on that one.
What you think, Rico?
I mean, I agree. I mean, if you're throwing Kyle Allen out there, it's literally just for entertainment and just like, at this point, we're just holding quarterback tryouts. You might as well go ahead and throw Kyle Shermer out there off the practice squad. At that point, it's just like if once you hit Taylor Heineke, you pretty much said we're done with the season. You can mask it up and make it look like, oh, we're trying to find a quarterback that can lead us to winning the division. But no, you're honestly just holding quarterback trials at that point. So I agree super with Ed. Like, I like Taylor Heineke. He's limited, but like we might as well just roll with him and give him the rest of the season to see if he just has some magical transformation before the end of it. I doubt it. And the plan, even unless Taylor Heineke just suddenly becomes Kurt Warner, we need to draft a quarterback anyway. But if at the end of the season he starts to get some momentum, I would like to bring him back at least as like a QB competition in camp. Maybe he starts while like a Malik Willis or Matt Corral is, learning behind him maybe for like a year. You know what I'm saying? Just give him a longer chance to see what he can do because it's not going to get any better than anybody else.
He should at least be in the room as a body in the quarterback room as someone knowledgeable of the offense, even though sometimes it doesn't look that way, how slow he gets through his process and his progression. Yeah. But dang, my man Roger said Chase Young is clowny. He's a bust, all hype. Don't say that yet. And I wouldn't call Clowney a bust, but he didn't live up to what he was supposed to. So, I mean, technically, shout out my guy David Wiley. What's good with you, man? Shout out to Live Wire Sports and Entertainment. He said, we're tanking. We ain't winning 5 games. We're not tanking. We're not capable of winning 5 games.
We're just really good at losing. We're just really good at losing.
Listen, we're not good enough to tank games, guys. We're not good enough to say we're going to lose on Sunday because we plan to. Like, we're not capable of winning. That's the issue right now. What's going on, my man? Only One Rel. Ron always compares his rebuild how the Bills did and built their roster first and then dropped the QB in. That's the Ron plan. Yeah, I hear that, but until you get the QB, we're not on that trajectory. And the QB is still a huge question mark and the biggest question mark because we haven't won a game since September. And most of that is because of the QB. So neglecting that position in the offseason has plagued this season for the most part. Position flex equals fitting square pegs in the round holes. Yes, that's a problem with a lot of the schemes and a lot of the systems in the NFL. Like a lot of quarterbacks, we view them as busts because of the teams that draft them and because of the schemes they go into. They never really get a chance to succeed because instead of playing to those players' strengths, they make them say, you learn my offense and you run it that way, Jay Gruden. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of ego in the league when it comes to these coaches, and they got to stop that. Like, they got to start playing to the strengths of their players. Like, okay, I do this way. Like, it just makes you feel like Ron and company, they're kind of outdated to today's football. Like, am I wrong in that assessment?
Oh, no, you're 100% right. I mean, even defensively, like William Jackson, he's a press man corner. It's not working out. We got him playing zones. He's getting burnt. Like he's probably the worst corner on the team right now. Danny Johnson, I think, has played better than him when he came in. Offensively, Ed, I hear you, but I wouldn't say Ron's playing to build backwards necessarily wrong. Ron wants to build a team first, and he got that wrong, and we're seeing that right now. He did it the wrong way. But yeah, he's just old and stubborn. He won't take advice. Like him defending the kicker thing. Ron is just super, super stubborn. Nothing he can do is wrong. He's always, he's just stuck in his old ways. I think we need a young, innovative offensive coordinator, minded coach. But I'm still, if Ron can get this quarterback thing right, then that will save his coaching career in DC. But watching Ron and listening to his press conferences, I really appreciate Cam Newton even more. Seriously, because without Cam Newton, I don't know where Ron Rivera would be right now in Carolina. I'm serious with that.
It'd be looking real shaky for his resume right now. Rico, what you think, man?
Hey, man, I agree. I mean, y'all already know I'm super biased towards Cam Newton, even though I'm not exactly sure about bringing him here.
I wouldn't bring him here. I wouldn't.
Yeah, but everything in me wants to say. But everything in me wants to say that all of Ron Rivera's great years were directly because of Cam Newton for completely biased reasons. But I mean, yeah, I feel like we should just give Ron Rivera too much, and even beyond Ron Rivera, just Scott Turner, give him a quarterback that that has an arm, that may be able to do some of the stuff that he wants to do, and I want to see what he can do with it, and then we can truly evaluate him. Because right now it's kind of hard to isolate him from, you know, the things that Taylor Heineke does wrong. Some things you can obviously tell, like that play call was stupid. But also, I would like to see what he can do once he gets the guy that he wants. Because there are sometimes receivers are open deep. Taylor Heineke just doesn't see him, or he throws it late and then it's wobbly in the air, paper airplane, gets there too late. Yeah. And so, you know, I wanna wait till we have the exact guys that these guys want to evaluate the roster. Because remember, Jay Gruden, even though I'm glad we moved on from him, his biggest thing was like, bro, I just want 2 dual threat tight ends, please, so you can see the offense I want to run. And we never could. And so I want to give Scott Turner a chance in that way as well.
Same way. Don't say that too loud around Roger, but same way. Ashley said it's so disappointed to see all the talent and potential we have. But then I remind myself that potential doesn't win games, execution does. Facts. That is a great point. And the word potential, it sounds so great in hindsight, but then you sit there, the more you have to hearken on potential just means that what have you done for me lately? When am I going to see such potential? Because as a coach in the NFL, you get a contract. The NFL stands for not for long, if you don't know. When you keep saying future, draft, don't mortgage the future, draft capital for the future, you are literally stocking stuff for your replacement. Because in the NFL, unless you do something for me right now, you're just planning out a future for another man's job when he takes yours. So it's like, well, like, what are we doing? Like, potential, like, look at the Rams. I love how the Rams are going for it. Say what you want. They don't have no draft picks till like 2030, and they have no money, no draft picks. I don't even know how they have a salary cap. Yeah, no scout, no nothing. They're gonna have to start. They're gonna have to start mortgaging the stadium to play for players. The playing SoFi, but they're going for it. They got the quarterback. Their defense now has Von Miller, Aaron Donald, and Jalen Ramsey. Like, bro, like, what in the Madden hell is going on in L.A.? They're going for it. You got to go for it, bro. You can't be sitting back like this is the 80s. Oh, we're going to build this brick by brick. Nah, we're not going to do that, man.
Don't forget they went for their quarterback, and that's what, you know, really sparked all of this. They're like, hey, we got our quarterback finally. Let's get it.
Hell yeah, and we almost had him. We were this close to having Stafford. I guarantee you we're not in this position at 2-6 with Matt Stafford quarterbacking this team.
Nah.
Hell no. We are giving Dallas run for this division right now if that's the case, but it didn't happen. So, oh, man, leave Chase and Tez alone, man. They'll get it right, hopefully. Heineke's a great story, but he's shown who he is, not a red zone wizard. Not much of a wizard at all, especially a Washington wizard, because they actually win games right now. Let me see. Ron is stubborn and out of them, and yeah, Ed is correct. Yeah, hell yeah, man. We got to work with. We got to roll with our guy, though, man. We're not calling for firings yet. The Braves are up 3-0. Good. Get them cheating-ass Astros out of here. Don't forget the hospital balls, Rico.
Oh, yeah, man. Boy, Terry loved it. Terry wants somebody hurt so bad, bro, every game, bro.
I know, bro. He hates McKissick. They got some type of beef because he be setting up McKissick on a platter, serving him up to the defense, man. It's always crazy. We had the Rams, 49ers, and Packers head coaches all on this team, and they're all great coaches right now. Only in Washington, right?
Yeah, Sean McVay, man.
Even back in the day with the Wizards, a lot of those Detroit Pistons players that ended up winning the championship.
Oh, yeah.
That whole team was a wizard. Hell
yeah, like it's crazy. It's
It's painful out here, man. So let's try to have an optimistic. I know, Ed, you got to run in a couple minutes, right?
Yeah.
All right, bet. Before you go, give Washington Nation something to be optimistic about going into these final 9 games of the season.
I would say there's only 2 or 3 months of watching bad football. Other than that, I would say Jared Patterson. Let's see what the young guy Jared Patterson can do. Of course,
agree.
Terry McLaurin, and but you said one thing, so I'm gonna go with Jared Patterson, man, because I like what I saw on Sunday, and it's so hard to say something positive. It really is. John Allen too.
Oh yeah, baller, absolute baller.
And you know what? I actually want to see, even though we're gonna cut Landon Collins at the end of the year, whatever happens. I am intrigued to see him at linebacker, man. He's been balling. I got to give him as much as we bash this man, and as much as the flack that he's gotten from the whole DC fan base, which is greatly deserved. He looked good at linebacker. I'll give him his credit for that.
I agree.
Oh yeah, he looked great on Sunday. He was flying around. He was getting out there. My guy said we got the draft to look forward to.
The
I
draft,
know,
yeah,
man. The draft.
basically, yeah, the draft.
We
It's
already
mock drafts.
November 2nd. We about to start pulling out the mock draft season, man. Kuiper, McShay, Matt Miller season. Pulling up to ESPN just to see the mock draft, how they're slating the quarterback. God, man, we couldn't even get to Thanksgiving first, man. Like, God damn. But yo, my man Ed, I appreciate you, man. You probably got some Wizards to go talk about, a team that actually is winning games right now. I appreciate you. Shout out to you getting the 12K on YouTube, man.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Man. Go ahead and plug your stuff, and then I'm gonna let you run, man.
Yeah, congrats to y'all too, man. Street Scores, your work is great, man. Rio, your work is great, man. Both y'all doing y'all thing right now, for real. So, but yeah, y'all can subscribe to me on YouTube, Ed Oliver, Washington Football, the real Ed Oliver, not the one from the Bills. You just type in real Ed Oliver, Washington Football, and then the Wizards. If you are a Wizards fan or even just a basketball fan, you can check me out on Locked On Wizards. Make sure you guys subscribe to that. Hit the notification bell. So, I'll be doing Washington football content. Even though we're terrible, I'm still going to be doing game recaps, game previews, and all that stuff. And then once the season's over, actually, before the season's over, I'll probably do 1 or 2 mock drafts. Maybe like late December.
Hey, it's about that time, man. Be easy, my guy.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Yes, sir, man. Thanks for coming.
All right, so it's down to 2 now. My guy said the Wolves are going to draft Howell. That sounds so dope. Like if we were the Wolves and then we get Sam Howell in the draft coming
That is perfect. I'm not going to lie. I'm not even a huge fan of Sam Howell, but that works out perfectly.
Yeah, I think I got him as like QB 4 or 5.
Around there, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't hate him. I
don't either.
I just like the other guys. I see the potential more with them. Or we've already been talking on Twitter like crazy about this with Michael. That Kenny Pickett is like slightly more NFL ready right now, but he's also limited. I mean, like you even said one time too. Look at how old he is. Like,
hey, he's about 25. Maybe 25 in year 2 of the league, but like he's ready to go. But it depends on like. Are you trying to get the QB that's ready to go with a lower ceiling, or are you trying to get the guy you could turn into an absolute superstar? And that's what when you go against like Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis has a skill set that if the right mind and the right team gets him and brings out his full potential, bona fide superstar, no doubt. Because he doesn't have the type of game to be. He's not a low floor quarterback. Like he's not a high floor quarterback. I mean, like he's boomer, but he's going to be great, or it's not going to work out in the league, man.
I agree. Oh, no, as far as things to be optimistic about, I would definitely say Matt Corral versus Malik Willis this weekend.
Oh yeah,
that's one.
Yeah.
Also, player development too. That's probably one of my biggest things. Is like because Derek Forrest just came to the 53-man roster.
More Jamin. I need.
Yeah,
more
so
Jamin.
I think once we know, like, because right now, like we've been saying throughout the whole stream, right now they're just trying to mask a tank. Like they're just like, not trying too hard to win. But I think once the season is clearly hopeless and all fans can even see it, I think we'll start throwing out there the younger guys like Jeremy Reeves, Derek Forrest, Jamin Davis Moore, Benjamin St. Juice Moore. We'll start seeing a lot more of them and let them truly develop. So hopefully next year they'll be ready and they won't continue to look like rookies. Because I hate when we sit rookies their entire rookie year and now they're a rookie again the next year. I hate that.
Hell yeah. It's like that red shirt and stuff, man. The league, it don't work the same as it does in college, man. Roger said, I want Reyes, Patterson, Forrest, Dax on the field a lot. Hell yeah. Yes. I need to see, and Collins does look good as a linebacker. He's refused to play it his whole life because he has this weird intuition that he's Sean Taylor when he's not. But he's looked like a new person on the field playing linebacker this week. Let's see. My guy said, I look forward to seeing how quickly we ruin our new QB. Come on, man. We gotta try to not live in the past, even though the past always gets thrown in our face here. At least we get to know what the new name is soon. Yeah, that is something to look forward to too. But like the new name ain't as exciting when you're losing and you don't have a quarterback. So it's like there's nothing exciting to roll in. Like imagine we roll in this cool name and these cool uniforms with Mitch Trubisky on the commercial coming out with a
walking in slow motion. Extra cool.
Oh my God. Come in rolling the football in his hand. That would be so sad, bro.
the That's so
Imagine
stupid.
trying to sell that to people for season ticket plans, man.
Oh man,
Roger likes Carson Strong out Nevada. I like the arm. That
I
arm
like the
is
arm too.
crazy. Yeah, he has great arm talent. He's definitely someone to work with if somehow we got a good veteran quarterback and we needed to slot a guy later behind him. But I don't see him being as like a top 15 type guy. But you never know because teams get QB crazy around the draft. How about a new owner? Yeah, man. As much as we would all
You got
like
the
to see
draft
that.
one.
Yeah, I know exactly. If only we could. If only it could be that easy to get a new owner in the building here. So, how do you rank your top 3 quarterbacks in this draft class coming out?
Oh, easily. I have to go Malik Willis just based off of, potential traits, going just straight off of traits. Because we're talking about who's actually looking the best right now. I would say it's a mix between Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral, because especially the competition Matt Corral's played against, and maybe Carson Strong. But if we're talking about like traits that you can like you take this, you do this with them, you call these plays, you run these formations, you have these personnel groupings, you run these routes. Malik Willis easily has the best potential out of this draft. I mean, he's stronger armed Lamar Jackson, a little bit slower, but not to the point that like he's not a tier, like a whole tier below Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray. He's just not quite their quickness and speed, but he's also stronger, so he can take more hits.
Yeah. I like the
Oh.
comp Malik Willis as put him in between Deshaun Watson and Cam Newton as far as his ability as a passer and his ability as a runner. Put him right between those guys. That's the comp I see from Malik Willis.
Slightly faster too. That's the crazy thing.
Hell yeah. Like,
I agree. I like that a lot.
Yeah, you got Corral number 2?
I have Corral number 2, mostly just because of like who he's going against. I mean, Alabama, he didn't put up great stats against Alabama, but out of any of these quarterbacks we're talking about, who could have? Like, he did as well as you can do. He fixed his turnover problem because last year I think he had a game with like 4 interceptions, a game with 5, and now I believe he only has 1 so far in college. He just looks. To me, he looks like what we thought Baker Mayfield was supposed to look like to me.
Oh yeah, Corral. Hell yeah, it's like the team he threw 5 picks about last year. He lit them up this year. Like I love to see that, man. I believe it was Arkansas or somebody. Like you love to see that type of thing. It scared me when he got hurt last week, man. I saw him get on that stretch. Oh my God. I was about to say, oh my God, we already lost one and we didn't even get the draft season yet. So do you guys think we draft the QB and not go after a vet? I think it's going to be opposite. I think we're going to go after a vet and we're going to strike out on the big name ones, but we're going to get one that can hold the spot until the rookie's ready to go. How do you see it playing out?
And I'm actually fairly down for that because if you draft a Malik Willis or anybody, Matt Corral, these guys that have, really high ceilings, we could debate the floor. Not even just on their end with their progression, how long it's going to take for them to be ready, but Scott Turner. How long is it going to take Scott Turner to have Malik Willis and figure out what he wants to do with the offense? So I think that may even take some time. So it would be nice if we had somebody that could win games in the meantime.
Hell yeah. And what I'd like people to know, too, about Malik Willis, he's not a run-first quarterback. He has the ability to run, and he's very athletic, but that boy wants to sling it. And his deep ball is beautiful, man. It is beautiful. My guy said we must stop at nothing to draft Matt Corral or Kenny Pickett and pray Dan Snyder gets forced out. We can pray. We can do all we can, but Dan Snyder, this is our reality here, Washington fans, and I know y'all don't want to hear this. Dan Snyder's going to live to be 100 years old. And at that point, he's going to pass the son down. He's going to pass the team to his son. We're not going to get rid of this guy. We're going to be Snyder-owned forever. So we got to get past that at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the reality we face. I would love Willis, but I'm scared we will ruin him. At this point, I'm not afraid that we're going to ruin him. I want the talent, man. I need it. I can't be afraid to move forward with my life because we've made mistakes in the past. We have to be okay with moving forward. And I think Malik Willis is that special that if we get our hands on him, and I believe in Scott Turner's ability to scheme up an offense. I know it gets lost in the mix because we're losing all these games. That offense is walking up and down the field on teams every week. They're just not getting there once they get inside the 20s, man.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
The red zone, the red zone efficiency questionable, but you see a lot of examples where it's Taylor Heineke. I mean, we already talked about it. Him not diving in for the touchdown. Our red zone efficiency would look better statistically if Taylor Heineke didn't do that. And it's a lot of like corner of the end zone fade routes he's not hitting. He's underthrowing them. They're getting picked off. I feel like when Scott Turner gets a guy that can do everything that he wants to do, He's gonna definitely impress a lot of fans. He's gonna prove a lot of people wrong.
Oh yeah. Okay, so it brings me to another question. Outside of quarterback, what's the next biggest hole on the roster to you, position wise?
Man, if we can get my boy from Michigan State, the free safety, I would be in heaven. I think free safety would be, if we can get just that true ball hawk safety. I mean, because you saw Justin Simmons. I don't even think Ricky Seals-Jones necessarily had a terrible game per se.
Justin Simmons is so good.
Justin Simmons just took him out of the game. He just literally no Ricky Seals-Jones today, even though he played every offensive snap, which is crazy. You couldn't even really tell. I think once we have a true rangy free safety to pair with Cameron Curl, I think that will make up for a lot of inefficiencies we have on the back end. Because first of all, again, our defensive line is like top 5, I believe, in pressures. We're just not getting the sacks because our secondary can't hold up. If we can get that guy that can shut down the back end and make quarterbacks even just think for a second longer, like don't throw this pass, and then now the defensive line is getting there. Chase Young is getting all of the sacks he's supposed to get. I think that'll just be a nice trickle-down effect for making our entire team better.
Hell yeah. And Buddy from Notre Dame is really good too. The safety out of Notre Dame.
Oh yeah, he's already out of I already have him out of my head.
He's out
of here. I'm trying to forget he exists. I already know that's not happening.
He's going super early, man, because dude is a problem. My guy Tyler said tackle or free safety. Johnny was good, man. He said Scott's play calling's garbage. I don't think it's garbage though. I think there are plays to be made on the field. We're just not making them because we're limited at the position. Bergner and Goal for Life said 2 years, 6 quarterbacks, the same result. That's a lot of quarterbacks, and that's a lot of meh at quarterback.
Yeah, but that wasn't a real attempt at any of them.
Yeah, there was no answer clearly on the roster. Great one. Cornerback. We need a dog on the other side of Juice. It would be nice if William Jackson, the guy we're paying $14 million a year, was that cornerback. It would be really nice, but hey, man, I thought Bobby McCain was supposed to be a good free safety. I thought he was supposed to be a good free safety, too.
I did, too.
That pick he dropped Sunday might be the worst interception drop I've ever seen in my entire life.
But literally, like, it was designed to go to him. Like, when they broke up the huddle, throw it to number 20 in the chest. That hurt, man. Mike Backer is a huge need. Yeah, man, because I don't think Jamin's a Mike at all at this point. And my guy Tyler said, watch Tay and Todd. Tay and Todd, those are my boys in real life as well as on social media. Those are my guys. Pascal Todd does great quarterback breakdown. You can see the scheme. Go to the Tay and Todd podcast YouTube channel and watch their quarterback breakdown. You can see that receivers are running open. It kind of reminds me of when Kyle Shanahan had to call plays for Rex Grossman and John Beck. Like, you're watching Jabbar Gaffney and Santana Moss just run naked all day, and the quarterback is just so inept. Like, Rex is throwing YOLO balls, and John Beck's afraid and gun shy to throw the ball. Man, that was bad times, man. Terrible times, bro.
Oh, speaking of that, like, I see people saying right now is rock bottom for this organization. I don't agree with that at all.
Nah. Maybe off the field in a way, but not on the field. This is not as bad as it's been on the field, in my opinion. I mean, because at least in these games, you see the hope. Again, we're moving the ball up and down the field. The defense, if you isolate certain guys, you can see, like, okay, if we just add pieces here, this defense could be something like we expected. I don't think it's the worst, because for me, the worst, even technically while winning more games, having that middle tier quarterback to where we're not good enough to win a Super Bowl. Like, you clearly know you're not going to win a Super Bowl with this guy, but you're not bad enough to pick high in the draft to get special players. To me, that's the worst. I prefer to just be awful and then be great than to just be in this perpetual middle for forever.
Yeah, like to be in purgatory, middling, average NFL team. It's the worst place to be because you're stagnant. There's no room for growth or for getting worse. You're just sitting in the same spot of 6-10, 7-9 every year. The perpetual Jay Gruden season. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no growth in that. Like, oh my God.
I don't think y'all remember, bro, but the Hawks, when I was like in middle school, high school, with the Al Horford and Jeff Teague in the playoffs every year to get bounced first or second round every time. And so you're never picking high enough to get the next great thing, and you're never good enough to surpass LeBron. You know, it's just, what do you do?
Hell yeah. And my guy said there's a lot of plays where 5 guys are in the same area. Yes. Okay. The spacing of the offense, yes, it is a problem. I think a lot of that is more than just the offensive coordinator. I think that's position coach stuff because receivers aren't getting correct depth on their routes. And there is a lot of guys running into each other and stuff like that. I'll give Scott part of the blame for that. Let's see what else we got going on. Would you take Micah Parsons? I wanted to take Micah Parsons in the draft. See, here's me. Like, when it comes to the whole character issue and red flags thing, every player on the team can't be Terry McLaurin, man. We can't have a team full of 53 choir boys. You got to have a couple jackasses on the roster, man. Like, I understand we're trying to build a culture, but sometimes blue chip talent, you got to overlook some things. And it sounds terrible, but listen, man, I would have took Micah Parsons. I would have traded up for Micah Parsons. If he was there at 19, I would have sprinted to the podium and not gave one thought into the red flags coming in because boy looks good as a rusher and an off-ball linebacker for Dallas. Dude can cover. He is absolutely a superstar, and I hate that he got to go to Dallas.
And I just feel like we all knew that would happen. I mean, well, the edge rusher thing is like an extra layer to it that I didn't necessarily expect. But like I swear everybody knew Michael Parsons was going to be great as long as he stays out of trouble. And again, if you actually go dive into his off-field issues, it was like random stuff like him playing too much. I think like he pulled a prank on one of his friends and they ended up fighting. And then another thing was like he incited a riot in high school. It's not like he's out here drunk driving, out here domestic violence. Like it was never anything that bad. It was just like he was kind of childish.
And like some of that hazing stuff that they were saying that was happening with him and Yetur Gross-Matos at Penn State, a lot of that proved to come out false because the kid who reported him was the kid who transferred from the school. And obviously you transfer to get away from somebody and some things took place. When you fight a guy, you're going to throw his name in the mud. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. None of that was never to come out as true. And I think that's the reason why he still got he got taken as high as he got taken. But good for Dallas, man. That's the worst part. I think the worst part of us being bad this year is that Dallas is actually really good and they could actually compete for all of it this year. And
man,
it hurts my soul.
They took Micah Parsons from us. I wanted Jabril Cox since he was on North Dakota State before he even transferred to LSU. They got him. I mean, it's just like it's sickening to watch because I want to root for Jabril Cox because he was such an underdog this whole time, and then he got drafted later than I expected, so he's still an underdog. But then he's on the Cowboys, and it's just like I can't.
Jamin, he said, would you have taken him? Now do you see Jamin is getting better? Is Jamin getting better, or is he just on the field more? Because you know what I'm saying, he's out there. He makes a couple normal base level plays a game, but right now he's on like the defensive equivalent of the trajectory of like Dwayne Haskins, where we have to applaud every normal thing he does, and that's not what I want out of my mid first round pick. I'm looking at JOK over there balling out in Cleveland. Zaven Collins, who I didn't even like in the draft process, he looked good when he gets on the field. Man, I don't know what's going on, man, but I hope Jamin ends up being the first round stud linebacker, but it's probably going to be an off-ball linebacker because I don't know if he's ready for that mic, man. He gets bullied out there.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll see because if he ends up moving the mic, which I agree, probably his best position, we'll see what linebackers we can look at in this draft. Because my boy Nakobe Dean, I thought maybe we could try to get him in the second round when the season started, but I mean, he's out there flashing too much. He's going top half of the first round, I believe, at this point, which, I mean, it makes me happy because that's going to help our recruiting. But, like, I know he's not going to end up on the Washington football team. There's just no way. So we're going to have to find, like, a sleeper somewhere to come in and play Mike, a nice, stocky, bigger built guy. I know, I mean, I'm not sure if you saw, but Jalen Smith got released by the Packers. But, I mean, he looked terrible. From what I saw, he looked terrible. Bro.
I'm telling you, he's dragging that leg up and down the field. He was a healthy scratch last week, and they just signed him a couple weeks ago. That should tell you everything you need to know. I was trying to tell people, this is not the guy you saw coming out of Notre Dame, bro. When he got released, I was like, don't get too excited because he would fit right into our linebacker room full of Jags, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? He could be another body in uniform, not producing like some of the guys we got in our life. He could be another Khaleke Hudson for sure. Because right now we're not getting much out of Hitman Hudson. And before I let you go, man, this Henry Ruggs story bothers me, man. That really,
Oh,
that shit is tragic, man. Like I don't get it. Like you are a 22-year-old living out your dream. Yes, everybody makes mistakes. We're human. We all do dumb shit. The NFL offers a 24/7 car service to all of its players, and this is explained to them at the rookie symposium at the rookie weekend once they get drafted into the league. What are you doing driving your car drunk, man? And then speeding. Like, what are we doing, man?
nah, I really don't even have words for that, man, because it's just so many times that it just seems like we go through the same thing. It's gonna happen to somebody else like 3 years from now, probably, sadly, because it just seems like people are not learning their lesson from other guys that have gone through this before.
Yeah, man. I don't even know. I don't even know what's going on. Like what's going through your head to make you do that? Like Chris Carter was trying to tell them at the rookie symposium, there's one of your guys should be driving for you. You should what are we doing, man? Like
You're the breadwinner in the family.
Exactly. The breadwinner. You should have a fall guy if you don't have first of all, me personally, if I had money like that, I don't think my hand would touch a steering wheel. I don't think I would ever drive myself because I don't have to, because I have the means to have someone cook for me, drive for me, security guard me everywhere I need to go. And now someone has to be without their 21-year-old daughter because they confirmed the person that died in the accident today. Another one we're still hearing it that's in really bad shape as well. A 23-year-old female was the one who died and was trapped inside of her burning car when Henry Ruggs came flying down the road in his Corvette while drunk this morning in Nevada. And they don't play in Nevada. A DUI that involves a life being taken, the sentence is 2 to 20 years. So good luck with that.
The drunk driver always walks away the most okay, and it's because when you're drunk, you're more loose, and other people stiffen up. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. The drunk driver almost always survives. It's so crazy.
Yeah, man, that's just a tragic story, and man, the Raiders are having a tough year. Someone save. Did you see what David Carr tweeted today? Derek's brother.
No, I didn't see it.
He tweeted they were killing him because David Carr tweeted something along the lines of, "If the Raiders win the Super Bowl this year, my brother's the most valuable player of all time because everything that happened with Gruden, what's happening with Ruggs, everything that's happened to this franchise this year, he's the most valuable player in the history of football." He immediately deleted it, but the screenshots already got him because the Twitter police, they don't let anyone get away with anything.
At this point, deleting it makes it worse. The internet has it, so now when you delete it, you look like you weren't really feeling what you were saying. You might as well just kept it up there. You might as well believe what you say.
Oh, yeah. And Johnny Bo said, will we take Matt Corral? Yes, absolutely, I would take Matt Corral. I look at my comp for Matt Corral is he's everything Marcus Mariota was supposed to be. That's how I see his game. Yes. Everything Mariota was supposed to be coming out of Oregon, I feel like he has it. I don't like his frame a lot, but I think he'll make up for it because he's the type of guy that inspires the whole locker room. He has that badass Baker Mayfield mentality where he'll get guys going. He doesn't have the body to be out here trying to lower his shoulder on dudes, but he be out here lowering shoulders on dudes, man. He runs like he got Cam Newton's body, and he doesn't. But I like it. He has a much better arm than I thought he had, and I really like him, man. Yeah. I really like Matt Corral. You like Corral? Oh, yeah, you got him number 2, right?
Yeah, that's my number 2. I love Corral. I mean, because even before the season started, I was trying to tell people, bro, Spencer Rattler's overrated. Matt Corral turnover. Matt Corral turnover heavy, but keep an eye on him, because last year he looked bad, but when he was good, he was great. If he can just be consistent, watch out. I was like Malik Willis, all of the talent in the world, just needs to put it together. And then, now I'm starting to feel like, some sort of a genius because Spencer Rattler fell off the edge of the earth, and Matt Corral and Malik Willis are number 1, number 2 consensus quarterbacks right now amongst most people.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And Corral, the Kenny Pickett, his biggest knock is that he's a 5th-year senior, and the other 4 years he played, the production was he was doing 13 touchdowns, 9 picks a season.
And he has small hands too, which that doesn't work out at the NFL level. Them fumbles.
Yeah, man, that's a thing. That's a real thing, man. But I'm definitely excited to continue to dive into the quarterback class of next year. Let me see. The corny good leadership. Matt Corral got that corny good leadership. Russell Wilson. I think he has more natural swag than Russ though. Like
Yeah, I
Russ
do.
can
I
come
agree.
off. Russ come off corny, but Matt Corral is swagged out. Like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
He left the rich boy high school to go play at Long Beach Poly because he wasn't trying to be with a bunch of spoiled rich kids, man. Like I rock with
yeah,
Matt Corral, man. He got
hero.
real moxie to him, but unlike Heineke, there's actually talent and an arm to go with that moxie. The best thing about losing is that we don't have to trade up much for a quarterback. This is how I feel on trading up. It ain't my pockets, and draft capital for the future does not matter if you continue to suck. So I don't care what you have to pay for your guy. Do whatever it takes, and no one's ever going to care what you spent for if you hit on him. If you hit on him and you develop him right, do what you got to do. I don't care.
Agree.
No one would have cared about the RG3 trade if he continued to be 2012 RG3, but he didn't. And that's why we look back in hindsight and say, oh my God, it was the worst thing ever. I don't ever want to trade again.
and even beyond that, first of all, I super agree. You got to give up whatever you got to give up because nobody regrets like Matthew Stafford, Kyler Murray, Josh Allen, all of these quarterbacks. Nobody regrets what they did, whatever they had to, whatever moves they made to be able to acquire these guys. Nobody regrets it. And then on top of that, this is a very defensive heavy draft. Like a lot of the best players, like if you look at people's big boards, and I agree with a lot of them, like literally the best players in the draft are defensive players. And so I think quarterbacks may slide further than normal. Again, I'm willing to trade up whatever you got to do. We got to trade up to a top 3 pick. I don't care. But I think this may be somewhat of a fortunate draft for us where we need a quarterback and quarterbacks may slide pretty far.
Please let them. Johnny said, if you have the choice, would you take Corral or Lewis? I mean, I'm guessing he meant Willis. Malik Willis is my number 1 quarterback, and I really don't see what would overtake that at that point. He has the best set of traits and measurables in this class by far, and I've been paying attention to him and everything Sean McAvoy and Quincy Avery has been saying about him for the last couple years. And remember, he's transferring in from Auburn, so this is an SEC talent quarterback. This is not just a guy whose best option was to go to Liberty. He went to Liberty so he can get on that field because they got dicks over there in Auburn, and he wanted to get on that field and make an impact right away. I'm definitely going, no doubt, with Malik Willis, and he would be a dream come true pick because I think we could definitely make that talent pop.
Man, you know me, Southwest Atlanta, man, Westlake High School. I don't think it could be a better matchup for me, man.
Well, we gonna let him wear number 7, or we gonna let that jersey perish after Haskins?
Hey, man, I'm the type. Let him wear it and let him make a new memory over it. That's how I am.
Tracy said, "Give me Willis, because our line gotta have a QB that likes to run." Our line's actually not playing bad at all. Like our line's playing pretty good this year, other than this Denver game where half the line was backups. Like
third right tackle, backup center, backup right guard. Even Eric Flowers got hurt at a time. Literally, Charles Leno is our most healthy offensive lineman right now.
Hell yeah, like that line's been a top 7-ish unit most of the season.
Definitely.
They've been protecting our quarterbacks, and even though our quarterback likes to leave clean pockets sometime, but I'm done piling on Heineke for today. And we all make typos, Johnny. It's all good.
You
and you already know. I appreciate you for coming through, my guy. This is real. We're definitely going to do this a bunch more, especially when draft season gets here. It's definitely going to be a good time, man. Go ahead and let the people know where they can find you, even though I'm sure they already know.
Yeah, you can find me, Street Scores, on YouTube, Street Scores ATL on Twitter, Street Scores on Instagram. And also just go out there and put out some good energy for the Braves right now and continue to give, if you give up on the burgundy and gold, you can go ahead and jump on the Georgia bandwagon because we need as much positive energy for that as well. I'm hoping to bring some championships back to Atlanta this year, both baseball and football. So we'll see.
Hey, man, shout out to you and congrats to your Braves who look like they're about to clinch a World Series title, man. It felt great. It felt great when the Nats did it. So, man, enjoy every second of that. And I'm glad y'all get to handle these cheating-ass bastards in Houston, man. Thank you for everybody for pulling up in the chat today. It was a good time. The energy in the chat was amazing. And let's hope that we see. I don't even know what to hope for the rest of the season, but let's just hope the season results in us getting a quarterback. How about that be the optimism we have?
Yeah. Take out the middleman. We just, whatever leads to Malik Willis, Matt Corral, that's what I want to happen.
Hell
Not
yeah.
gonna get too specific.
Hell yeah. And thank you for everybody that pulled up in the chat today. Thank you, my guy Dustin and Daiji, for the super chats. And until next time, hail to the Nameless football team. Deuces.